Welcome back to CIA Declassified. The stage is set in the late 1970s at the dawn of the microprocessor revolution, as Silicon began to run everything from missile silos to bank vaults. The agency realized that physical walls were becoming irrelevant. They didn't just want to crack passwords, they wanted to manipulate the very heartbeat of the machine. While the public saw a box of wires, the agency saw a programmable servant. They needed a tool that spoke the language of electricity to tell the machine that the agency was its master. It was the birth of hardware hacking long before the term existed. This was the sonic screwdriver. Why borrow a name from science fiction for a real-world spy tool? The name sonic screwdriver was an internal nickname given by engineers at the Office of Communications. Records indicate that while its official project designation was a technical alphanumeric code, the sonic moniker was chosen because the early prototypes utilized high-frequency acoustic coupling to vibrate specific mechanical pins and electronic locks. It was a screwdriver because it was designed to unscrew the logic of a machine without removing a single physical bolt. It was a nod to the versatile tool from Doctor Who, reflecting the agency's desire for a one-size-fits-all entry device. The sonic screwdriver was the agency's master key to the digital kingdom. Developed in the late 1970s, the sonic screwdriver project focused on bypassing boot-up sequences and firmware security on high-value hardware targets. A quote from a declassified 1979 technical memo. The objective is to achieve total system compliance through non-destructive signal injection at the hardware level. End quote. The device functioned by sending a precise glitch pulse to the central processing unit at the exact millisecond the security check was performed. A quote from the Directorate of Science and Technology. We must have the ability to interrogate a device before its internal security protocols have the chance to initialize. End quote. Agency technicians used the sonic screwdriver to plant firmware implants that stayed hidden even if the computer's operating system was completely erased. Logs showed the device was successfully used to bypass the electronic combination locks of foreign embassy safes without triggering tamper alarms. The agency experimented with inductive coupling, allowing the sonic screwdriver to talk to a computer through its power cord or its outer casing. Researchers documented the use of acoustic exfiltration, where the device could listen to the high-pitched whine of a monitor to steal data being typed on the screen. Records indicate the tool was disguised as ordinary items, such as a high-end fountain pen or a heavy-duty flashlight to pass through security checkpoints. One branch of the project looked at power analysis, measuring the electricity a device used to figure out its secret encryption keys. The sonic screwdriver utilized clock glitching to force the machine to skip the line of code that asked for a password. The program was officially moved into the Cyber Operations Division in the 1990s as computers became the primary storage for global intelligence. The agency collaborated with chip manufacturers to understand the microscopic physical layout of silicon, looking for hard points where a probe could be placed. Logs describe a field entry where an agent used the device to unlock a secure server room in under 30 seconds without a key card. The sonic screwdriver could freeze the device's memory using a blast of compressed air, allowing the agency to read the data before it vanished. Records show the agency kept a database of vulnerabilities for every major computer model in existence to ensure the tool was always updated. The project identified that the boot ROM was the weakest point in any computer's armor, as it cannot be easily changed once manufactured. Documentation reveals the agency used infrared signals to trigger the device from across a room, bypassing security from a distance. The program established that hardware trust is the ultimate vulnerability. Once the machine is physically touched, it is no longer secure. One Declassified report mentions using the device to hijack the communication satellites of adversarial nations by targeting their ground station hardware. Technical logs confirm the tool was used to bypass the ignition systems of high-security armored vehicles during extraction operations. The program proved that air-gapped computers, those not connected to the internet, could still be accessed via physical hardware manipulation. Technical specifications confirm that the device could induce electromagnetic interference to force a hardware reset, dumping the system's kernel into an unencrypted state. Project documents reveal that the tool was capable of bit flipping within a RAM module using focused magnetic pulses to bypass integrity checks. The agency successfully miniaturized the sonic components to fit inside a standard USB connector long before the format was commercialized. Logs indicate that signal timing attacks were perfected in 1982, allowing the device to crack 8-bit encryption in under 4 seconds. Operational records show the sonic screwdriver was utilized to recalibrate the frequency of radio transmitters in covert listening posts remotely. The device utilized capacitive discharge to safely disable security cameras by overloading their sensors without causing a permanent electrical fire. Agency blueprints show a pistol grip version of the tool designed for rapid entry teams to neutralize smart locks from several feet away. Records confirm that the project developed a hardware worm that could travel through shared power strips to infect neighboring machines. A quote from a 1985 Declassified security audit: "Physical isolation is no longer a guarantee of data sanctity. The tool treats the circuit board as an open book." End quote. Documentation from the Office of Scientific Intelligence notes that the tool could bypass anti-tamper meshes by using ultrasonic waves to map the internal layout of a processor. The project utilized differential power analysis to distinguish between a correct password signal and an incorrect password signal within the chip's power draw. Records show the agency trained hardware interdiction teams specifically to use the tool in high-stress environments like active war zones. The tool was used to bypass the zero-fill security on hard drives, recovering data that the user believed had been permanently deleted. Technicians developed a silent boot mode that prevented a compromised computer from displaying its usual startup logo, hiding the breach. Blueprints confirm the device could clock stretch, slowing down a processor's speed so much that the agency could manually read the data pulses. Operational logs detail the use of the tool to cloning electronic key fobs by capturing the rolling code signal before it reached the car. The program successfully bypassed the write protection on industrial control systems, allowing the agency to change the code on a factory floor. Records prove the tool could inject code directly into a computer's mouse or keyboard controller to type commands as if a human was present. Technical data confirms that the sonic screwdriver could be used to brute force mechanical tumblers by sensing the microscopic vibrations of the lock pins. Project reports highlight that the device was effective against 95% of the security hardware produced by the Soviet Union during the early 1980s. The agency established a hardware vulnerability center to archive the unique electronic fingerprint of every secure device they encountered. When we look at the Declassified hardware manifest, the absolute heaviest redactions, representing over 99% of the operational data, are found in a document titled Universal Interconnect Protocols. This file is totally blacked out, specifically the section on automotive and infrastructure override, which is missing. Why is the agency hiding the blueprints for how they interface with the modern world? There is a massive rumor within the tech community that the agency didn't just find backdoors, they built them. Speculation regarding the supply chain interdiction files suggests that the agency influenced the NIST standards for random number generators. This isn't just a theory, it's a widely cited claim by cryptographers that the agency used their sonic logic to ensure a backdoor existed in the very math protecting our data. In the hushed corners of the automotive forums, people point to the redacted automotive override logs as proof of a remote kill switch. This theory claims that every modern car's engine control unit has a hidden sonic command that allows the agency to shut down a vehicle mid-highway. They cite the mandates for driver monitoring systems as the perfect disguise for this hardware override. Gossip suggests that the blacked out processor level persistent logs describe the Intel Management Engine, or AMD PSP. Theorists argue this is a computer within a computer that operates even when your PC is off, acting as a permanent hardware level sonic screwdriver for the agency. A prevalent rumor among cyber historians is that the industrial control bypass redactions hide the true blueprints for Stuxnet. I'm not sure. You guys that are hackers, you know what it is. Stuxnet. They suggest the sonic screwdriver was the tool used to sonic pulse the frequency converters in the centrifuges, proving that the agency can destroy physical hardware using only digital signals. Speculation persists that the sonic screwdriver name was revived for the Vault 7 leaks. Theorists point to the Weeping Angel program, where the agency supposedly turned smart TVs into microphones. They claim the redacted firmware infection vectors prove your living room is an agency listening post. Looking at the micro interdiction files, rumors swirl about interdiction stations. The theory goes that the agency intercepts hardware in the mail, uses a sonic screwdriver to install physical chips on the motherboard, and sends it on to the buyer, meaning your laptop was compromised before you even unboxed it. Whispers argue that the Touch ID neural mimicry logs show a way to spoof fingerprints using electrical pulses. They claim the sonic screwdriver can trick a phone into seeing a valid fingerprint by injecting a specific voltage pattern directly into the sensor's hardware. Rumor says the black bars cover a grid-down protocol. They posit that the agency can use a sonic signal to flip the hardware breakers on a national level, turning the power grid into a weapon of social compliance. Fringe gossip claims the redacted financial access logs prove the jackpotting of ATMs isn't just for criminals. They argue the agency has a sonic code that forces an ATM to dispense cash for field agents who are off the grid. Some suspect the redactions hide a satellite hijack capability. They believe the agency can unscrew the orientation of any orbital hardware by targeting the reaction wheels with a remote signal. A terrifying rumor suggests the redacted interface devices includes connected medical hardware. Theorists argue the sonic screwdriver could theoretically stop a heart by glitching the firmware of a pacemaker. Speculation persists that 5G towers are actually sonic relays. They claim the redacted mass signal injection logs prove the towers can broadcast sonic frequencies that interact with the microchips in our devices to induce mood shifts. Theory suggests the redactions hide a universal handshake for Bluetooth locks. Theorists argue that the agency has a master key that can open any smart door in the world without a single broadcast. Whispers suggest the data storage persistence redactions prove that the agency can unlock any cloud server by targeting the hardware-level encryption modules, making the cloud a transparent glass box for the agency. Gossip suggests that smart meters are used to listen to your home. They claim the sonic screwdriver can read the electrical noise of your devices through the meter to know exactly what TV show you are watching. Rumor says the black bars cover a UAS hardware bypass. They believe the agency can drop any commercial drone from the sky by unscrewing the logic of its flight controller. Speculation suggests the redacted signal capture annex proves the agency can clone any car key from a mile away, allowing them to enter and start a vehicle without a trace. Fringe gossip, looking at the future-proofing redactions, argue that the sonic screwdriver is already capable of bypassing post-quantum cryptography by targeting the physical hardware where the keys are stored. Theories suggest the redactions hide hardware 0 days, vulnerabilities in the physical design of chips that can never be patched. They claim the agency unscrews the world through flaws that are etched in stone. Lastly, some whispers suggest the redacted pages are a manual for a total reset. They argue the agency has a sonic EMP that doesn't fry electronics, but simply tells them all to sleep forever. Was the sonic screwdriver a success? Tactically, it was a silent revolution. The agency successfully broke the wall of hardware, proving that physical locks and firmware gates were no match for signal injection. Strategically, it was an infinite access pass. It proved that the agency could stay one step ahead of the computing revolution by targeting the silicon itself. The project was a success because it allowed for non-attributable entry, the ability to enter a system, take the data, and leave without the owner ever knowing they were breached. It effectively turned every piece of hardware into a potential entry point for agency intelligence. This success fundamentally shifted the power balance from those who own the hardware to those who understand the physics of the chip. It allowed for the silent colonization of the digital world before the public even knew they were being occupied. It proved that the ultimate key isn't a password, but a pulse. As far as technological and operational breakthroughs are concerned, the universal key led to many a breakthrough, such as glitch-resistant hardware. The research into the sonic screwdriver led to the development of secure enclaves on your phone, designed to resist pulse injection. Side channel attack defense. The agency's work on power analysis is used today in advanced encryption standards to prevent hackers from stealing keys by measuring a computer's electricity. Firmware integrity checks. Once used to plant bugs, this tech is now the standard for secure boot sequences, ensuring your PC only loads software it trusts. And contactless entry systems. The inductive coupling tech is used in NFC payments and keyless ignition, allowing you to unlock your car just by standing near it. The sonic screwdriver reminds us that in the digital age, a lock is just an opinion. When your device boots up with a friendly chime, remember the whir of the hardware lab. The agency may have retired the name, but the philosophy of the universal key is now etched into every piece of silicon we carry. You are not just a user in the eyes of the sonic screwdriver. You are a gatekeeper whose gate has already been bypassed. The silicon in your pocket isn't just hardware. It's a conversation between the manufacturer and the agency that you were never invited to join. Every secure login is a reminder that the only thing standing between a secret and a leak is a single glitch pulse. The world is no longer built of stone and steel, but of logic and signals that can be bent. True security is a ghost in a machine that has already been taught to obey a different master. Thanks for listening, and join us next time as we examine AE Latch. In the cold world of deep cover espionage, the agency developed security protocols for the protection of illegal agents. We'll uncover the Shadow Identity Manifest and the Deep Cover Defense Blueprints. Join us next time for the Shadow Shield. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.